theory part here will be less because I will send you the theory part in advance. Okay, and we do the exercises here in the class with the discussion. Okay, right here. Today here I want to start another topic here. Reading comprehension. In the reading comprehension here, I said how to attempt vocabulary based questions in context. Okay, vocabulary based questions in context. Okay, when the word is given in a sentence or in a paragraph, how to attempt that one. So we have discussed. Even when it is given in isolation also, the help of prefixes, suffixes or root words, we can try to guess the meaning. Okay. Next, we can go to global questions. Under reading comprehension, I said here these 5 types of questions are being asked in competitive exams. Vocabulary based questions, global questions, factual questions, inferential questions, tone or style based questions. Okay, like this, 5 types of questions are being asked in competitive exams. Okay, maybe yeah, higher level competitive exams I'm saying. Right? Okay, right. See guys here. Hello, can you hear me? Okay, okay. Just I made others mute. Okay. So next, global question. What is meant by global question? Just you can note down. If you have your notes with you, you can write those also. Okay. What is global question here? It is based on the theme of the paragraph, central idea of the paragraph. Okay. The question will be, what is the central idea of the paragraph? Okay. Or what does the author intend to say in the paragraph? Okay. What is the opinion of the author in this paragraph? Or what is the conclusion of the paragraph? Okay. Paragraph. Okay. That is called a global question. It depends on the overall theme. Is it clear? So now here let us attempt here these questions, global questions, right? So I will take one example here. I will tell you, guys, all should be active because it is activity based only. Okay, don't feel bored when you involve here. Okay, you feel happy, right? So don't be idle here. See this one here. Main idea based questions are called global questions. Let me tell you, for example, okay, if it is any competitive exam, okay, if there are 5 questions under okay, one paragraph, if there are 5 questions under one passage or one paragraph, one question will be here vocabulary based question. Definitely one question will be vocabulary based question. One question will be global question. Okay, one question will be factual question. Okay, and 2 questions may be here inferential questions, or one inferential question, or one style and tone based questions. Like this here, 5 different types of questions are being asked under reading comprehension. Okay, guys. Okay, remember here, if there are 5 questions here under reading comprehension, one question will be vocabulary based question. Definitely, one will be global question. One will be factual question. Okay, and 1 or 2 will be inferential questions. Okay, if one inferential question, one will be style or tone based question. Is it clear? Right? Sometimes here there may not be factual questions. So 2 will be inferential questions. Okay, 1 tone or style based questions. Is it clear? So any competitive examination here, they ask these types of questions, right? Sometimes here vocabulary based questions may not be asked. So 5 questions will be from this area only. Okay, this is the method here of framing questions under reading comprehension. Okay, guys. Now, okay, let me tell you, if it is IELTS exam or TOEFL exam, okay, out of 40 questions here, you can expect minimum 8 questions to maximum 15 questions, which are only global questions. Is it clear? If it is okay, CSAT, civil services, okay, out of 40 questions, you may expect 15 to 20 global questions only. What is the conclusion of the paragraph? Okay, what does the author intend to say in the paragraph? Okay, what is the central idea of the paragraph? Like that, there will be around 15 to 20 questions here, because for 40 questions in civil services, they will give 20 to 24 paragraphs. So 20 to 24 paragraphs for 40 questions. Under each paragraph, only one question or maximum 2 questions. Definitely, there will be global questions or inferential questions or factual. Factual questions will be very less. Okay. So in our campus recruitment also, most of the questions will be global questions. Okay. And inferential questions, most of the questions. Okay. Right. Inferential, let me tell you, inferential means inference. What is inference? Inference means hidden, indirectly said. Okay, indirectly said. If we understand the meaning of the sentence in the paragraph, is not enough to answer these questions. We need to, okay, we need to understand the hidden meaning of the sentence. Okay, which is indirectly said in the paragraph. Just understanding the superficial meaning of the sentence is not enough. We should go for hidden meaning. What is indirectly said in the paragraph? Okay, that is called inferential. Inference means hidden or indirectly said. Okay, factual questions, they will give some statements, okay, below the paragraph, and they ask whether the statements are true or false according to the passage. And these are also not direct questions. These are also, the statements are twisted, rephrased, restructured. Okay, and your tone or style based here. What is the tone of the writer? Okay, in the paragraph, whether it is sarcastic, okay, convincing tone, okay, convincing tone, thought provoking, sarcastic, informative, persuasive, like that. For different purposes here, the style, okay, of writing will be different. The sentences, okay, framing will be different. To pursue, okay, to persuade here the reader, they use here, okay, more explanation and more examples, okay, to convince the reader. For thought provoking, okay, the paragraph contains so many questions here, okay, to provoke thought among the readers. Is it clear? Right? And some will be rhetorical. Okay. So let me tell you here. For example, inferential question here, I will give you one example for inferential. So guys here, tell me here, what is the meaning of this sentence here? What does the author intend to say in this one? How does a bird sit in a cage and sing melodiously? How does a bird sit in a cage and sing melodiously? What is the author doing here? What does he want to say? How does a bird sit in a cage and sing melodiously? About radio, what is that? Karim, what is that about radio? How does a bird here sit in a cage and sing melodiously. Guys, anyone can think here? Okay. What is that? Bird's beautiful voice. Any instrument can play bird sound? No. Other guys here, okay, try to respond here. Without freedom, how can someone think freely? Very good. Likita, this is right here. Okay. So we have to think here. Sitting in, okay, bird sitting in a cage means it is losing its freedom. Right? Yeah, when a person sits, loses his or her freedom, how can they sing melodiously? How can you expect creativity from them? Means we cannot expect any creativity from a person when his freedom is cut down, curtailed. That is the okay meaning the author intended to say. Likita, very good here. Okay, this type of knowledge is required here. Just understanding superficial. Okay, the options will be like this here. Okay, the bird can sing melodiously in a case. Okay, the author is okay. The author is asking how it can sing melodiously in a case. It is a question. Okay, so it is a rhetoric question. Okay, author is saying here, the bird cannot sing melodiously. Bird can sing melodiously. Different options will be there. Okay, but what is okay the inner meaning? When one's freedom is curtailed, how can you expect the creativity? Okay, from that person, we cannot expect creativity from that person when you take away freedom from them. That is the inner meaning. So this is called here inferential question. Okay, in higher level examinations, in GRE, especially in the GRE or GMAT or CAT or even CSAT. Okay, such type of questions will be asked here. Okay, is it clear? So you have to raise to this level. That's why here so many persons, okay, while attempting the reading comprehension, they think that answer is already there in the sentence, okay, in the paragraph. Definitely there will be, but the answers will be hidden. We attempt in our own way and think here all our answers are correct. But after coming out here, we come to know the answers are different. Okay, guys. Okay. Now here, okay, let us take here this second type of questions, global questions here. Okay. So guys, just you attempt this one, and first you have to read the instructions. Read each passage and ask yourself, what is the author doing in this paragraph? Means, what does the author intend to say in this paragraph? Okay, write your answer in the summary box. Okay, one sentence only, and then think of an appropriate title for the passage based on the main idea of the passage here. Okay, right guys here. Okay, read it here. Any? Did we complete here, Mullapudi? This one, did we attempt previously? Guys here, tell me, did we attempt these questions? No. Okay, right. All guys, just read this one and tell me, what does the author want to say? After your attempt, I will tell you the technique here, how to trace out the main idea. A penny for your thoughts. If it is a 1943 copper penny, it could be worth as much as $50,000. In 1943, most pennies were made out of steel since copper was needed for World War II. So, the 1943 copper penny is ultra rare. Another rarity is the 1955 double die penny. These pennies were mistakenly double stamped, so they have overlapping dates and letters. If it is uncirculated, it would easily fetch $25,000 at an auction. Now that's a pretty penny. Yeah. What could be the title and what is the author's intention? What does he want to say? Okay. Right. Ram Subhash, you can tell here. Your answer is not correct here, Ram. You know, penny means currency. 100 pennies is equal to $1. Okay, like that. 100 paise is equal to 1 rupee. In the same way, penny is just like 1/100th of a dollar. Okay. Pennies are valuable. How much valuable? Only 1/100th of cost is high as much as it gets old. Yeah, he's thinking of old pennies only. Nikita. So Sai Kiran, value of penny. What is the value of penny? Author wants to say. What is the value of penny? Author wants to say. Is it 1/100th of a dollar? He is speaking of value of penny. But about the value of penny, what does he want to say? Scarcity of copper penny. He wants to say only scarcity of a copper penny, Likita. Rareness of Karim here. Author wants to say only rareness. Then what about the cost here? Author wants to tell how much the olden pennies are valuable. Olden pennies only. Worth of penny. About the worth of penny. Sai Vinoda, about the worth of penny. What does he want to say? Penny means, okay, 1/100th part of a dollar. Yes, please try here. Okay, now I will, I will let you know here, think again. Okay. Remember, if you know the mechanism of writing a paragraph, generally any paragraph is written in two ways. One is the inductive method, another one is deductive method. Okay. In the inductive method here, first examples will be given. Based on the examples here, a concluding statement comes here, and that last concluding statement becomes the topic sentence or main point of the paragraph. This is one method here, that is called inductive method. It is called inductive method. First giving examples, then from those examples, a concluding statement is drawn, and that concluding statement becomes the thesis statement or main idea of the paragraph. Another method is here deductive method. In the deductive method, first thesis statement is that is the topic sentence. Okay, based on the topic sentence or thesis statement or the main idea, that will be in the first sentence, and that main point will be defended, okay, by the supporting sentences, which are called premises. All of you guys here note down. So each paragraph contains only one thesis statement. One thesis statement. Is it clear now? One thesis statement means one main idea. That is one main point. Okay. That main point is generally given in the first sentence only. Is it clear? That main point is given in the first sentence, and that is called thesis statement. Guys here? No, no. Penny for your thought is any, okay, whatever it may be here. Okay, right here. Guys, here, first, generally, the main point here, the main point or the thesis statement or the central idea of the paragraph or the topic of the paragraph is given either in the first sentence or in the last sentence of the paragraph. Is it clear? And that is only main point, which is called thesis statement. Thesis statement. Okay, you can write down thesis, thesis, thesis statement. And remaining sentences are the supporting sentences, which are called premises. Which are called premises. Okay, supporting sentences. Even when you read the textbook or any essay also, remember each paragraph deals with only one main point. Okay, that is called thesis statement or the topic sentence. Remaining sentences, okay, just are the examples or evidences to support the main point. Okay, now I think you got the idea, right? Yeah, not only copper, here he has given two examples. 1943 copper penny, one example, which is very rare. Okay, and due to its rareness, it could fetch $50,000. Okay, by the lovers of coin collectors. By the lovers of coin collection, it could fetch $50,000. And he has given one more example, 1955 double die penny. Actually, double die penny means it is not valid at all. When it is double stamped, okay, it is invalid in the circulation actually. But its significance, its rarity, okay, gives it a worthiness, and the lovers of coin collection, they may pay $25,000 at an auction. So how the penny value is getting changed? The penny value is getting changed, okay, according to its significance in your thoughts. If you give more significance, it's for its history or for its significance or for its okay rarity, if you give more importance in your thoughts, its value will be more in your thoughts only, not in my thoughts, right? So author wants to say penny value depends not only its face value, but also its significance, its importance, its rarity, or its historical significance in one's thoughts. Okay, author wants to say that. Okay, let me give you one more example. For example, there is a cricket bat, okay, displayed in a what is that here, sports showroom, and that bat is, okay, say 10 years old, okay, cricket bat, okay, and it is for sale. Okay, I go to, okay, that is a sports showroom, I see that bat, okay, I want to buy a bat for my kids. What do? I see it is a, okay, old, very old bat, second hand bat, no more useful, okay, for my kids to play. So I may just okay, ask that bat for 500 rupees. But here other person who is crazy of cricket, okay, he sees the signature on that bat. What is whose signature? Signature of Yuvraj Singh. That bat was used by Yuvraj Singh in the World Cup final. Okay, and he hit 6 sixes with that bat in the World Cup, and it is signed by Yuvraj Singh. Okay, I don't give any importance for okay, Yuvraj Singh or okay, his signature or any of the history of the bat. I see whether it is useful for my kids or not. So I don't want to pay much for it. But someone who is crazy of cricket and interested in collecting these bats, he may be ready to pay 50,000 rupees. And who is crazy of a fan of Yuvraj Singh and also cricket, also rich, he is ready to pay 1 lakh for it. Okay, means how the value actually, okay, what is the price of the bat actually here? Maybe 2,000 or 3,000, the best bats. Okay, so the value is getting changed according to its significance in one's thoughts. Is it here? So guys, here copper demand here, not the demand of copper, it is here. Okay, the copper bats are they were very rare during that period. That is Second World War period. They were very rare. Means they have some history. Okay, even 1955 double die penny also, it has some specialty. It is double die, double stamped. Okay, so these are rare coins here. Okay, they have some historical significance, and if you give importance to their historical significance or rarity, their value will be more. If you don't give for their history, its value will remain as 1 penny only, that is 1/100th of a dollar. So guys, here always remember the topic sentence or the main point or the thesis statement will be either in the first sentence or in the last sentence. Remaining sentences will be just only supporting sentences like examples or evidences. Okay, these are called premises. Are you listening, guys? Here, this is very, very important here. Reading skills. Most of the guys, students, what do they say here? Reading comprehension is easy. But understanding here the meaning of one sentence is not enough. Okay, you have to understand the entire paragraph and understand the gist of the paragraph. Okay, right? Okay. Now here, guys, here, now you can tell me. I think you can answer this here. Now all of you attempt this one sincerely. I will ask here some of you. Adilakshmi, A. Harita, okay, Amruta K, okay, Anusha Reddy, G Aparna, A. Naveen. Just raise your hands. These 4-5 members, raise your hands. Okay, one more here is missing. Okay, now you can lower your hand. You can, very good. You can lower your hands and answer. Guys, answer me. When one hears the term reality applied to a television show, one might expect that the events portrayed occurred naturally or at least were not scripted. But this is not always the case. Many reality shows occur in unreal environments like rented mansions occupied by film crews. Such living environments do not reflect what most people understand to be reality. Worse, there have been accusations that events not captured on film were later restaged by producers. Worse still, some involved in the production of reality television claim that the participants were urged to act out storylines premeditated by producer. With such accusations floating around, it's no wonder many people take reality TV to be about as real as a sitcom. Yes, what does the author want to say? Guys, you can read once again here. in most of the competitive exams, questions will be like this only. You will get at least one question here. Okay, based on the global idea, main idea. Okay, he is saying about real or reality show. So about the reality of TV shows, what does he want to say, Divya? What does he want to say about reality shows? About reality shows, what does he want to say? Yes, guys, think of it. Drawbacks. What is the drawback? Rasuna here. Be clear. What is the drawback of reality? Here. Who is this? Mullapudi Ramanana. Okay. Lokesh, they occurred naturally. He wants to say they are not scripted, they occurred naturally. Yeah. Sai Krishna. In reality show, there were not real scripts. Okay. Prasuna, very good. Lack of reality in reality shows, not television shows. Okay. Ram Subhash. So, okay, there is no reality in the reality shows. Most of the time. Sometimes it be true, sometimes not so. It doesn't mean what every time what is shown on screen is true. No, not clear. So no. Okay. It occurs in Unreal. Okay, now let me here explain here one by one. Okay. Pawan Kalyan, which was not scripted. We think it is not scripted. Okay, but it is actually scripted only. Pawan Kalyan. It is actually scripted only. We think it is. You see here, first sentence, what did he? Okay, one hears the term reality applied to a show. One might expect that events portrayed naturally are okay. Events portrayed occurred naturally, or at least were not scripted. We expect like that, but this is not always the case. What is not always the case? We expect it is natural, or at least it is not scripted. We expect, but it is not always the case. Means reality is not always the case. Okay, they are not natural. We think it is natural. We think it is not scripted, but it is not here always the situation. In most of the cases, it is scripted only. Okay, we think it is natural or not scripted, but this is not true. Okay. See guys here, and okay, to prove that he says that okay, in most of the reality shows there is no reality. Okay, there is no reality. Those were not natural. Okay, those are already scripted. Okay, author wants to say that one only, right? To prove that, that is the thesis statement. To prove that here, he gives here some examples here. You see, first one is many reality shows occur in unreal environment. This is one. Okay. Second one, verse. Okay, verse. There have been, okay, that events not captured on film were later restaged by producers. This is second one. Third one, verse still, okay, that The participants were urged to act out storylines, okay, premeditated by the producers. Okay. These are the supporting sentences. He has given 3 supporting sentences to prove that, okay, reality shows are not natural or not real. To prove that they are not real or not natural, okay, he gives here 3 supporting sentences which are called premises. Guys, have you understood here? So in the first sentence only it is there here, a hint is there. This is not always the case. This is not always the case means, what is not always the case? Reality is not always the case. So in most of the cases, there is no reality in the reality shows. We audience, we think those are reality shows, but everything is scripted here. Even the anchors, okay, they come on the stage here, okay, with the okay preparation only. Okay, before starting the show only, they say, I will okay say this dialogue, you reply like this, okay. And even for judges or others also, they will say in advance here, when you come to on the stage, we will play this song, okay. Just you come, okay, with preparation to dance for the song, okay. Or when we comment like that, you comment like this, okay. All will be scripted only. But we, okay, audience here think those are okay, not scripted. Those are reality shows only, live shows only. We think like that. Okay. Guys, any doubt here? Just which it is not scripted. Definitely, Pawan Kalyan, it is scripted only. We think it is not scripted, but it is scripted only. Author wants to say it is scripted only. This is not always the case. This is means not scripted is not always the case. Means it is scripted. We think events portrayed occurred naturally. We think, but it is not true. Means those are not natural. Those are scripted only. Those are not live shows, not reality shows. Most of the, there is no reality in the reality shows. Any doubt here? So this type of knowledge is important here. See how difficult, okay, if we are not aware of the technique here. What is the technique here? Okay, if you don't concentrate on the first sentence, if you don't, okay, or the last sentence here, okay, first thing we have to trace out the thesis statement or the topic sentence. What is the topic sentence? This is not always the case. This means not scripted is not always the case. Means they are scripted only. Okay. Right? To prove that, okay. Okay, these are not natural here. We think it is natural, but this is not true. Right? So there is no reality in the reality shows. Okay. So any doubt, guys, here? I'll give you one more here. Yeah. Guys, yeah, you read this one and now tell me here. Okay, whether, okay, you got the technique I have given you. Guys, okay, read this one. There are many types of lethal venom in the animal kingdom, but perhaps no stranger carrier than the platypus. The platypus is one of the few venomous mammals. Okay, males carry a venom cocktail in their ankle spurs that incapacitates victims with excruciating pain. Stranger still, the platypus is the only mammal that uses electroreception. What this means is that the platypus uses its bill to sense the electricity produced by the muscular movements of its prey. The platypus neither sees, hears, nor smells its prey while hunting, but rather pursues it through electroreception. Perhaps most odd, the platypus is the only mammal that lays eggs rather than giving birth to live young. The platypus is an odd creature indeed. So, what is the theme of the paragraph? What does the author intend to say in this paragraph? What is the thesis statement in the paragraph? What is the central idea of the paragraph? Yeah, very good here. Ram Subhash, Mullapudi Ram Subhash, Abdul Karim, very good here. This is the way of okay, right? So, see here, the platypus is an odd creature, right? Okay, this the author wants to say, right? And to prove this is the thesis statement. Now trace out the, okay, guys, now trace out the odd features of a platypus. No, Likita here. This is only one point here. These are the premises. What you said is an example, premise. Okay. So what are the odd features here? You see here. One odd feature is venomous mammal. One of the venomous mammal. This is odd feature. Second one, only mammal that uses electroreception. Only mammal that uses electroreception. Next, only mammal, okay, that lays eggs. Okay. 3 supporting sentences here. So, guys, why I am saying, okay, why I have selected, okay, this exercise today is, okay, yesterday I told you here to have a habit of note making. When you read any paragraph in your textbook or any here magazines or whatever it may be, from each paragraph, you should be in a position to trace out the thesis statement and the premises. This is the way of preparing notes here. From this paragraph, what do you write here? Platypus, an odd creature. That is the main point. Supporting points, one of the few venomous mammal, only mammal that uses electroreception, only mammal that lays eggs. Right. These are the supporting points, which are called premises, subpoints. Guys, here, I have taken this exercise only to tell you the importance of note making, and even okay, if your reading comprehension is better, your note making also will be better. Okay. From each paragraph, you have to trace out the main point and subpoints. Is it clear? This is the main point. And subpoints to support this, okay, main point, thesis statement, these are the premises. Okay, one of the few venomous mammals, okay, and only mammal that uses electroreception, only mammal that lays eggs. Okay, guys, here, this is the way of preparing notes for you. Okay, so then you, okay, everything here comes very clear, okay, in your mind here. You get a clear picture of the subjects. Okay, see here, in this one, what did we do? This means reality is not always the case in reality shows. Reality is not, reality means natural. Okay, this means reality only, natural only. Naturality is not always the case. Reality is not always the case in reality shows. That is the main point. Sub points, they occur in unreal environments. One. Second, events not captured on film were later restaged by producers too. And sometimes the participants were urged to act out the storylines pre-dictated by producers. Like this for each paragraph. Okay. Divya, I think you asked me here. Okay. First, when you write an essay or when you read a editorial of newspapers or any essays here, you should prepare notes like this. From each paragraph, trace out the main point, sub points, and prepare a notes like this. Okay, for your textbook also. Here also here. What is the main main point here? Penny for your thoughts. Means penny value changes according to its significance in one's thoughts. This is the main point. Sub points here, 1943 copper penny, right? Which is ultra rare. And another point here, again, 1955 double die penny, which is rare. Okay, both are fetching more amount than its true value. Okay, like this. Okay, this is the method of preparing notes. Okay. Right. Okay. Now I want to ask someone. Okay. Yeah. Priyanka, B. Priyanka, Bandi Priyanka, Prem Kumar, Kanigiri Pravalika, M. Priyanka, G. Ramya, Ramya Sri, Ravi Kiran Chari. Raise your hands, guys. These 6 members only. Prem Kumar, Ramya, okay. Only 3 members. Out of 6, okay, 4 members only. 2 members are not okay. Ramya. Okay, right. So now you can lower your hands. Okay, lower your hands. Okay, no problem. Okay. Okay, here. Guys, here now let us take some more exercises here. Now any doubt here, just you can guys, okay. Okay, are you following these? Okay. Okay, could you understand here the purpose of this one here, the technique here? Could you understand? Guys, here, could you understand the technique of tracing out the main points and sub points? Guys, just tell me, could you understand how to trace out the main point and sub points? The main points will be, okay, generally, always here, you can say sometimes, okay? 99% here, the main points will be either in the first sentence or in the last sentence, okay? And okay, remaining sentences will be only the sub points, okay? Sub points only are supporting sentences or premises. Is it clear, guys? Just to say yes or no, or else I can here give me more examples. Okay. Okay, now here we shall take here one more. Okay. This is somewhat difficult here. Can you do this, guys, here? It is challenging. And okay, let us complete these two. So actually you won't get the command here over the technique here within a day. So we have to do many exercises. Guys, here tell me, read this one and tell me what does the author want to say. And don't forget my suggestion. What is that here? Thesis statement are generally given either in the first sentence or in the last sentence. Remaining will be supporting sentences only. Right? Always remember the tip. Is it clear? Right? Then try to attempt this one. It is estimated that over 20 million pounds of candy corn are sold in the US each year. Braggs, the top manufacturer, sells enough candy corn to circle the earth 4.2 times of, okay, if each piece were laid end to end. That's a lot of candy corn. But that's nothing compared to Tootsie Roll production. Over 64 million Tootsie Rolls are produced every day. But even Tootsie Rolls have got nothing on the candy industry's staple product, chocolate. Confectioners manufacture over 20 billion pounds of chocolate in the United States each year. Now, that's mouthful. Okay, guys, here. So here the entire paragraph is dealing with the production of candy or its a staple product. How the production of candy and sales, the sales show, okay, the sales are very high. Is it clear? Braggs, the top manufacturer, okay, you see here, the sales are very high. Okay, another one, Tootsie Roll production, that is also very high. Okay, even the staple product, chocolate here, production is also very high. So finally, what is the, okay, here, now that's mouthful. That means candy. That means candy production. Mouthful means sufficient. Okay, is it clear? The hint is given in the last sentence. Okay, so here author wants to say a mouthful means plenty. Okay, తినేవాడికి తినగలిగినంత అన్నట్టు. Mouthful అంటే plenty. Right? So author wants to say, okay, plenty of candy production. Okay, there is a plenty of candy production in the US. Is it clear? Okay, there is no dearth of candy production. Okay, indirectly wants to say plenty of candy is produced every year in the US. Okay, that is the, okay, author's intention. So he did not give it directly. Mouthful means plenty. Tinagaliginanta, kavalsinanta. Right? He is giving like this. Okay. This is the here thesis statement. Means we have to take its meaning. That means candy. Mouthful means plenty. A lot of candy is produced every year in the US. Okay. This is the thesis statement, and the remaining are the supporting sentences. Okay, guys, could you follow it? It is not easy to, okay, trace out the main idea unless you know the, okay, this tip. Is it clear? We get confused with all those sentences here, but remember, generally there will be only one main point. Remain to support that main point, remaining will be examples or evidences only. Okay. Right, guys. Now ask me doubts here. Okay. In this class, we can spend 2-3 minutes only for doubts. Yes, Prem Kumar, any doubts? Okay, guys, just you can ask me some questions here. Sometimes remember, okay, there is no guarantee that here, okay, if it is written by unprofessionals, the paragraph is written by unprofessionals, there may not be thesis statement in the first sentence or last sentence. Okay. But then also you can guess because how you read all sentences, what is the common point that all sentences are trying to prove? What, okay, all sentences in the paragraph, they try to prove one common point. What is that common point? Think, okay, think like that. Is it clear, guys, here? Okay. What all here sentences in the paragraph are trying to prove? Think like that. When there is no topic sentence in the beginning or end, then think, okay, like that. So now you can ask me. Guys, you can, okay, Ravi Kiran Chari, Rekha, Rushita, Kopula Rushita, Sagarika, Katkuri Vamshi, Sai Teja. Okay. Lasya Monica. Okay. Sai Krishna Shakamuri. You can ask some doubts. Shravya B, Shivajyoti. You can ask me doubts. No doubt. Guys, tell me your opinion. What is that? Okay. Could you get that idea? Could you get the tip here? Just answer yes or no. How to attempt? Okay, idea-based questions, main idea-based questions. Still doubtful only? Shall we take one more class for this main idea-based questions? Hello, guys. Shall we take one more class? No, in the word power made easy, this is related to vocabulary only. Karim, this is related to vocabulary only. Word power made is related to vocabulary. Okay. This type of exercises you can get only in the, okay, separate books here meant for reading skills. High level books here. Right. Okay, for GRE or TOEFL. Okay. In some such books you can get here. GRE, TOEFL, or civil services, CSAT, or CAT exams. Okay, CAT exams. Okay, okay. So in such books here, if there is an explanation here, you can get it. Okay. Higher order questions only. In your competitive exams here, definitely these will be asked here. This is very, very important. Okay, shall we take one more class here tomorrow on this idea-based questions, main idea-based questions? Tell me just yes or no. Do we require one more class on this one? Okay, right. Okay, we can take one more class on this main idea-based questions. Right? Okay, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Sir, shall I end?
Yeah, no. You just leave that class, sir. So I'll just speak with 2 minutes with students.
Okay.
Yes, Anna, good evening. I hope you're doing well. See, Anna, you people are not doing well in the Code Chef. What I seen in the Code Chef, Anna? So, may I know the reason? చాలా మంది కోడ్ షిఫ్ట్ లో చేయట్లేదు. మే నో ద రీజన్. మిమ్మల్ని అడుగుతున్నాను. రెస్పాండ్. నెక్స్ట్ అన్న వన్ మోర్ థింగ్. టుమారో యూ హ్యావ్ ఎ మాక్ టెస్ట్ అన్న, వీక్లీ టెస్ట్ అన్న. టుమారో యూ హ్యావ్ ఎ వీక్లీ టెస్ట్. And as well as the Code Chef, one more event is running on, Anna. It is a long challenge. It is a long challenge. This is the challenge is go start from yesterday, I mean second onwards from the 12th Nana. You have to solve as much as problems. Okay na? As much as problems Nana. అర్థమవుతుందా? Is the long challenge. మీరు ఎలా అయితే cook off as well as the లంచ్ టైం ఛాలెంజెస్ ఎలా చేశారో అలానే లాంగ్ ఛాలెంజ్ నడుస్తుంది నాన్న. సో మీరు డివిజన్ 3లో పార్టిసిపేట్ చేయొచ్చు. ఏం బాబు చూడండి, డివిజన్ 3లో పార్టిసిపేట్ చేయొచ్చు మీరు. ఎస్ ఆర్ నో? ఇస్ ఇట్ ఆడిబుల్ రైట్? ఎస్ నాన్న. చూడండి బాబు, ఆల్రెడీ ఐ హావ్ గివెన్ ఎ టాస్క్. సో నెక్స్ట్ you need to complete all your programs, 126 programs మీరు 10th లేకపోతే 12th నానా, 12th కల్లా కంప్లీట్ చేసేయాలన్నా all 120 programs. ఓకేనా? కంప్లీట్ చేసిన తర్వాతనే ఐ విల్ కంటిన్యూ ద నెక్స్ట్ పైథాన్ టాపిక్స్ లైక్ టపుల్స్ కానీ అవన్నీ కూడా కంప్లీట్ చేస్తాను. ఓకేనా? ఇస్ అ మెయిన్ బ్యాచ్ అన్న. సో ఇంకో బ్యాచ్ ఉంటుంది, దీంతో ఇంకో బ్యాచ్ ఉంటుందా, పైథాన్ బ్యాచ్ వాళ్ళకు 7 o'clock క్లాస్ ఉంటుంది. ఓకేనా? నౌ యూ క్యాన్ జాయిన్ ద క్లాస్ అన్న. ఆ క్లాస్ లో జాయిన్ అయిపోండి డైరెక్ట్ గా. ఐఎమ్ గోయింగ్ టు క్లోజ్ ద సెషన్. డూ హ్యావ్ ఎనీ డౌట్స్? జస్ట్ ఆస్క్ మీ. రిమైనింగ్ పైథాన్ క్లాస్ ఉన్న వాళ్ళు జస్ట్ లీవ్ ద క్లాస్. ఓకేనా? జస్ట్ జాయిన్ ఇన్ దట్ పర్టికులర్ లింక్. ఆ లింక్ లో జాయిన్ అయిపోండి. రిమైనింగ్ అన్న చాలా లైన్ అనేసి మాట్లాడడానికి వచ్చాను నేను. ఏం బాబు, డూ హ్యావ్ ఎనీ డౌట్స్? ఫస్ట్ మెయిన్ బ్యాచ్ అన్న. టుమారో హ్యావ్ ఎ క్లాస్ అన్న, సారీ ఎగ్జామ్, గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి. సో ఎగ్జామ్ మేబీ ఐ విల్ టెల్ యూ టైమింగ్స్ ఇన్ ద గ్రూప్ లో టైమింగ్స్ చెప్తాను. అండ్ ప్లీజ్ రిమెంబర్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు సాల్వ్ ద లాంగ్ ఛాలెంజ్ ఆల్సో. నేను చూస్తున్నాను పర్ఫార్మెన్స్ ఏమి, ఐ మీన్ ఎవ్రీ డే యూ నీడ్ టు సాల్వ్ మినిమం 4 problems, బట్ ఐ డెంట్ సీ సో మెనీ ఆఫ్ దెమ్ నాట్ డూయింగ్. సో లాంగ్ ఛాలెంజ్ మీరు పార్టిసిపేట్ చేస్తుండండి. బట్ ఈ వీక్ వర్క్ అయితే గిన ఓన్లీ ఈ వీక్ వర్క్. సో ఎన్ని ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ అయితే సాల్వ్ చేశారో ప్రాక్టీస్ ప్రాబ్లమ్స్, అటెండెన్స్ అండ్ ఎగ్జామ్ అంతేనా. సో నెక్స్ట్ వీక్ వచ్చేసి లాంగ్ ఛాలెంజ్ కూడా కన్సిడర్ చేస్తాను. ఫర్ ద నెక్స్ట్ వీక్ ఐ విల్ కన్సిడర్ ద లాంగ్ ఛాలెంజ్ ఆల్సో. ఓకేనా? క్యాలిక్యులేషన్ కి మీరు లాంగ్ ఛాలెంజ్, కుక్ ఆఫ్ ఛాలెంజ్ ఇవి చేస్తేనే మీకు స్టార్ రేటింగ్ అని పెరుగుతుందన్న. ప్రాక్టీస్ ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ చేస్తేనే మీకు ప్రాక్టీస్ మాత్రమే వస్తుంది. ఓకేనా? స్టిల్ యూ హ్యావ్ ఎనీ డౌట్స్ హియర్? ఇట్ ఓకే? నన్ను సాల్వ్ చేయాలన్నా, ప్రతి ఒక్కరు సాల్వ్ చేయాలి. ఓకేనా? I will upload that. నాన్న మీరు ఇంగ్లీష్ క్లాస్ రికార్డింగ్స్ అప్లోడ్ చేస్తానా? నా చాలా మంది ఏంటంటే ప్రాక్టీస్ ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ చేస్తే మీ రేటింగ్ అనేది ఇంక్రీజ్ అవ్వదు. లంచ్ టైము, కుక్ ఆఫ్, లాంగ్ ఛాలెంజ్ సాల్వ్ చేస్తేనే మీ రేటింగ్ అనేది ఇంక్రీజ్ అవుతుందన్నా. చెక్ చేసుకోండి. ఓకేనా? థ్యాంక్ యూ నాన్న. ఎస్, గుడ్ లాషా, గుడ్ అన్న. సాల్వ్ చేయండి అన్న. యాజ్ మెనీ యాజ్ ప్రాబ్లమ్ సాల్వ్ చేయండి లాంగ్ ఛాలెంజ్ లో. ఇట్స్ వెరీ వెరీ గుడ్ థింగ్. ఓకేనా? శిల్ప, ఎందుకు రేటింగ్ తగ్గుతుందంటే అన్న, మీరు ఎక్కువ రాంగ్ ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ చేశారనుకోండి మీ రేటింగ్ తగ్గుతుందన్న. బట్ డోంట్ థింక్ ఆన్ రేటింగ్ పెరుగుతుందో తగ్గుతుందో కాదు. పార్టిసిపేషన్ ఈజ్ ఇంపార్టెంట్. ఓకేనా? ఫస్ట్ రేటింగ్ చూడొద్దు నాన్న. యూ జస్ట్ కీప్ ఆన్ ప్రాక్టీసింగ్. ఓకేనా? సో మీకే కాదు, టాపర్స్ కూడా ర్యాంకింగ్ అనేది తగ్గుతుంది, పెరుగుతుంది. అందుకని సో డోంట్ చూస్ ద రాంగ్ వేస్. ఓకేనా? శిల్ప, you just leave it the rating nana. You just try to concentrate on the problem solving. Okay na? Fine. Thank you nana. Maybe Nana, we'll resume the classes all చేసినా sir. నన్న ఈఓఎఫ్ వస్తుందంటే టీ టెస్ట్ కేసెస్ రెడ్యూస్ చేసిన టీ ఈక్వల్ టు టీ -1 అలాంటి రెడ్యూస్ చేసినారు, అందుకనేసి మీకు అలాంటి ఎర్రర్స్ వస్తుంటాయి. చెక్ చేసుకోండి. జస్ట్ ట్రై టు యూజ్ ఇన్ ద యువర్ ఎడిటర్, మీ ఎడిటర్ లో చెక్ చేసుకోండి అన్న. స్టిల్ మీకు ఏమైనా డౌట్స్ ఉంటే జస్ట్ మెసేజ్ మీ, ఐ విల్ హెల్ప్ యూ. ఓకేనా? థ్యాంక్ యూ అన్న. ఐ హ్యావ్ క్లాస్ అదర్ లింక్. ఓకేనా? Maybe when at least 50% of people is going to complete the 120 programs అన్న. మీరు ఎప్పుడైతే కంప్లీట్ చేస్తారో అప్పుడు ఎందుకంటే వితౌట్ నో నౌ యూ హ్యావ్ ఆల్ ద స్టఫ్ యూ హ్యావ్ నాన్న. నెక్స్ట్ నేను చెప్పాల్సింది టపుల్స్ ఫైల్ హ్యాండ్లింగ్. దర్ ఇస్ నాట్ ఎ బిగ్ థింగ్ నాన్న. అవన్నీ ఏమి అంత అవసరం లేదు మనకు. అర్థమవుతుందా? ఇప్పటి వరకు మీకు తెలిసిందే. ఇట్స్ ఎనఫ్ టు సాల్వ్ ఆల్ ద కైండ్స్ ఆఫ్ ప్రాబ్లమ్స్. ఆల్రెడీ మీకు తెలిసి ఉంటుంది. ఎస్ ఆర్ నో? ఇప్పుడున్న కాన్సెప్ట్స్ తో మీరు అన్ని ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ సాల్వ్ చేయగలరా లేదా? ఎవరికైనా ఎక్స్ట్రా కాన్సెప్ట్స్ ఏమైనా ఎక్కడ అవసరం అవుతున్నాయా? అవసరం లేదు నా. దట్ ఈస్ వై ఐ నో దీస్ థింగ్స్ ఆర్ ఎనఫ్. ఈవెన్ క్రాక్ ద కోడ్ విటా. ఇవి ఎనఫ్ నాన్న. దీస్ ఆర్ ఎనఫ్. ఓకేనా? థ్యాంక్ యూ నాన్న. థ్యాంక్ యూ.